kind of X in the front. All right.
Yeah, you're good.
Is it on? All right, everybody, we're getting ready to do the Facebook Live Talk Forum with me, Lynn Rene MacDonald, in a few minutes. We are in Virginia Beach, Virginia, so we're going to give everybody a few minutes to get ready, get your questions together. We have people here in the audience, and we also have people who are calling in. You can ask questions here live. This is a live talk forum, and what it is about you getting the questions and answers that you need from love, learning about love energy, how to live your greatest life, as well as answer any personal questions for you from the stars, universe, God, love. All right, in the purest form. That's what this show is really about, okay? And we're just going to give it a few minutes. We're pretty much all set up. We're going to do some sage, and then we're going to answer your questions. So in the meantime, you guys can get your questions and get ready to tune into us live. It's every Sunday night from 7:15 to, depending on what time, it'll at least be about an hour. It may be longer than that, depending on how many questions that we do have. Okay, so all you guys over here in the audience too, get your questions ready. We will also be taking phone calls for phone-ins. You can also do video calls if you want to hang out and be with us too as well. I have Rachel and Jennifer who here who are my main people who are really helping out to get the questions answered from both Facebook and on the Institute's phone. So we're here live in Virginia Beach, Virginia from the Institute for Christ Consciousness and the Copper Dragon. We are doing this because we got to get the God's honest truth out to people from love, right? And all your questions answered both personally and in the collective. So anything you want to know about, that's what we're here to do. We're here to get you the truth so you can live your greatest life and learn how to do so from love, okay? All right, so I can't read the questions, so I have Rachel who's going to read any questions that we have. I'm going to do some sage here, and we're going to go from there. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. So thank you, everybody, for coming. You guys, too. Thanks. All right. And in the meantime, get your stuff together. I think we just got a sage on the floor here. All right. All right, we're doing some sage to clear the energy. Yay. All right, I can see a bunch of people tuning in. Rachel, can you tell me who's tuning in? Jen, Rachel?
I don't believe I can see it. I think it can only be from yours.
Only from mine, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'll see if I can get closer. All right. Who's here? I see Robert. I see Mark. I see Ann. Thank you, guys. So you can't pick up my questions from here?
I got your questions, not who's viewing it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming, and thank you everybody in our audience. We have Jacob. What's your first? Alexis. I did meet you before, didn't I, Alexis? No? Was there another girl that I met that was... Did she have the same name as you?
Her name is Isis.
Okay, because there's a lot of energy in you and her. That's like similar. Are you aware of that? Alexis, Isis is what it is. It's not a bad thing. It's just an energy thing. You know what I mean? Okay, that said, thank you for coming. I'm glad you guys could come, all right? And then we have Laura and Steve, Madeline. And thank you, Madeline, for bringing my fan. Yes, because when I do this work, I get super, super hot. I don't know.
I had a question coming in.
Yeah? Okay, great. So hold on 1 second for 1 minute. But I just want to thank everybody for coming. Madeline and Sophia, too. Thank you. And thank you, everybody on Facebook. Okay. So, and everybody who's tuning in. Okay, go ahead, Rachel. What's the questions you got?
Ann Williams is asking if she conceived this month, or do you see when I will conceive and have a baby?
All right. What's the God's honest truth for Ann Williams? There's a lot of confusion going on around this baby. I feel like you've wanted to have a baby for a while, Anne. I'm going to try not to get too personal, but I want you to think about how long you've been trying to have a baby, because there's some health stuff here without getting too personal, right? Because, you know, your health is really a privacy thing, right? You don't want to tell people if you've been vaccinated or not, right? However, all right, look into health stuff that you're doing because, or that you have done because, all right, and read in between the lines here for subliminal messages, all right? If you can, you need to personal message me, because what I'm going to say has to do with you getting into your best health for you. Right now, I do feel like you will have a baby. I do. I feel like there's some healing work that has to be done, both metaphysically, meaning spiritual, energetic blocks that are removed, that are in the way, as well as physical energy blocks, but they're totally interrelated. So this is about not necessarily being upset about choices that we made, but changing the choices and changing things in us so that we can clear the energy both in us physically, mentally, and spiritually to make this happen. So I don't want to say too much here on Facebook, right? Because of all the crazy shit that goes on in the world, and this is really personal. So if you can, personal message me. It will be probably afterwards for more in depth. But the bottom line is to put it in layman's terms, practical in this reality right now, okay? This is about taking a look at hormonal imbalances in you, all right, and getting your greatest immune system and in your greatest health, where your physical body doesn't attack you and doesn't allow other viruses and things in that ultimately will prevent you in some way, shape, or form from having a baby. So this is getting in the best physical, mental, and spiritual health. And that's why, you can PM me, great. And I'll tell you more in depth what this is about so you can get a better path, a clearer path without, coming across with the health stuff too much. But yes, I feel like you will overcome this. It's not going to be exactly in the way that you think or in the time frame that you think, but ask love, ask God. Thanks, God, for this for me. Thanks, God, for the best pregnancy. Thanks, love, for the best pregnancy, the best of everything I need, the best health, the best outcome, the best labor, the best delivery, the best of everything. Now, please clear my blocks for this for me. And also, any blocks that stop this from happening for me, clear it out. Free yourself from any attachment. Thanks, God, for that for us, as well as let's ask God that we're happy no matter what happens, and that we're truly happy across the board with anything that comes from this, from love, and that we heal ourselves and everything is fantastic. And thanks, God, for that for us. All right, so this way we set that energy forward. Focus on good things. Anytime you see toxic or you don't have a good feeling, clear it out. Ask the universe to clear it out and put the best way to be from love in place of that for you. The more you do this, the more you raise your vibration, the more you'll start to heal internally. And you'll also ask and work with God or love for the best vitamins, minerals, herbs, everything you need. People, right? Could be me, could be anybody. What your heart calls in for you, for your best health. And to make this happen, how do I do this, God? Show me, give me all the tools, the gifts to do this. And thank you, God, for that for me. In the best way, from love. The happiest way, from love. The healthiest way, from love. The easiest way, from love. Okay? So if you do these things, there's no doubt in my mind that you will have this. And whatever you do, whatever choices that we have make with our health, and like sometimes we're going to go to McDonald's and we're going to eat shit. That's part of life, right? All right? So when our shit starts to fail, or our bodies tell us that things can't be done in the way that we want them to be done, then we have to say, okay, God, how do I change this? And we have to pay attention to that. This isn't about shaming. This is about saying, okay, maybe if I did, get a shot, or I did eat the wrong foods, or I didn't take care of myself, or I was into drugs in the past, or whatever my stuff is, right? I can change anything and everything from love, and I can do anything, but I must be in my heart for me and work from that space. However way I want to do it, but the more you work with love or God, the more you're going to change this and send yourself in this direction. And I could almost bank on this happening for you if you do this work, because that's how the law of love energy really works in both Earth world and Saturn's Earth world. Okay? All right. So Earth world meaning Saturn's Earth world, as well as metaphysical, all that is God. All right? Okay. Thanks. All right.
Thank you.
Oh, you're super welcome. And again, if you need to clarify more or any other direction to go in, or you want to work with me or anybody, whatever you feel in your heart, but the answers are always right in here for you. Ask God for the best health people, the best people to do this, the best practitioners, the best of everything you need. Okay? All right. You got it. Thanks. All right. Who's next?
We have another person asking. Her name is Teresa Courtney Lloyd. She says, why do I feel as if I'm not special to anyone, like I'm basically alone, as if I am not a priority to anybody? I feel I have no special place in the life of anyone. I feel love superficially.
Okay. So we're talking about lots of different levels of love here, okay? When we're hurting inside, we're hurting in our souls. This has to do with being a very, 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 very old soul most of the time, all right? Because there's a law of universe, a law of love energy, okay, that governs everything here in Earth world as well as metaphysically, all that is, and it's about a balance, right? So if we do not love ourselves in the healthiest form of love or the healthiest best way, then we feel a deficit. So this can come out as mental illness, or I don't love me, or I'm suffering, I'm hurting, I'm depressed. It could come out as anxiety. It could come out as drug addiction. Anytime we feel any way, shape, or form less than, it can come out in our physical body, in our emotional body, and in our reality, right? All right, to give you an example, okay? All my life, right up until recently, where I've had some profound changes, right? And this has to do with the transits of the now in astrology and like all my natal charts and things that are me, all right, all parts of me, right? I had some profound changes in me that has to do with, and everybody can look this up, healing the soul, the identity, which is your Chiron in Aries, which is in the transit right now. Everybody here on my page can look that up, because this is about really healing your heart. Because when your heart is healed, all right, it's Anne, isn't it? Did you say? Or is it Teresa?
This is Teresa.
Okay, Teresa, when your heart is healed, and everybody's going through this. So this isn't about shaming anybody or making anybody feel bad. This is about healing your heart so you can live your greatest life and do what you came here to do, right? Live your dreams and your happiness. But this Chiron in Aries is like an injury to the identity. So all of us are going through identity crisis makeover, where we don't love ourselves and aren't in our hearts for ourselves. Why Aries? Because Aries is the sign of number one. It's the sign of the baby in the universe. It's the sign of the number one me. And it's funny that I said Anne. Wasn't Anne the last person? Because Anne, this baby stuff comes in for you. This comes in for you with the baby, because Aries is the baby of the zodiac. You heal your heart in you and you will be blessed with that baby, okay? Because it's the Chiron in Aries, right, transit that is stopping you from loving you and not being in your heart for you. And to give you an example, like I was going to talk about, let me just put the words together. Thank you, God, for that for us, and get a quick sip of my water. When I channel like this, I get super hot. Hence my beautiful fan. So, thank God for my fan, right, to cool me down. So, going back to the Chiron in Aries and healing your heart, this is massively important, okay? Now, what happened with me, and I'm going through this, we're all going through really, really hardcore transformation, because we're raising the world up to higher elevations of love. We're all going through it, all right? So at whatever level of God or vibration you are in, we're all experiencing really tough shit, and we're getting blasted with it. That is Uranus in Taurus transit energy, along with all the other placements, and every one of you can look up these transit. Again, Saturn in Aquarius, which was the Christmas star from last year. There's energy from that. There's Saturn, Pluto conjunct Capricorn, and depending on which house it is in your chart is where this stuff is going to be hitting you more personally on a personal level. So that you have Pluto conjunct Capricorn, Pluto conjunct Aries. It's moving from Capricorn to Aries. So I would look up both, not Aries, Pluto, Capricorn into, what is that? Aquarius, I think it is. Yeah. So these what's happening is Pluto is the planet that's moving into these transit wise. It's going to affect you in whatever houses those signs are in, which would be Capricorn and Aquarius, wherever those are in your natal chart, your subconscious chart too. And what's happening is all these things are playing a massive role in major transformation in the world. That's why things are falling apart, crumbling, because new beliefs, new systems that are based in the God's honest truth, not the bullshit of all that is going on out here. Every single thing that you see collapsing is collapsing for a reason. The toxic government, the toxic school systems, the toxic what else? Financial system, right? Your friendships, your relationships are all being modified and changed because you're learning that some people were never really your friends and that they're really not healthy, and you're seeing the truth of God about them, right? So all this stuff is coming out for everybody to raise their own vibration, live their dreams, heal their stuff within them, and pay attention to these things, because this is all about those changes so that you can heal you, right? So look up all this stuff because it's happening in the world and it's happening for you. But this has to do with healing your heart, right? So I just to briefly put this in the, what is the word I'm looking for? All my life I've been in abusive relationships, from the beginning of my family to the ones that I have in this lifetime, right? I have some challenges in my personal life with some people who I love dearly who are super depressed and not well, right? And have not been well, and we've been working on their stuff, but it's very, very abusive and toxic, right? And then I had a transformation where I realized, oh my God, right? This is because I don't love me. When I hit those right things in the right spaces in the right times in my soul and work with God and ask God to change it, show me these lifetimes, show me these energies inside of my soul to clear, heal, and change this. When that happens, I change everything. Right? And this, my heart heals, right? When I make these breakthroughs. You can do it through energy work. You can do it through metaphysical work. You can do it like we do through chart work. All right. So there's many ways to heal this. But the very first thing is you and Creator, you and God, you and love. Ask love to change this for you. Ask love that you love you. Ask love for the things that you want from love for you. That's the very first part of this journey. So this Aries Chiron transit, right? All right, Chiron and Aries transit is about the first house. It's about the me house. It's about healing your heart, your self-love space for you. All right, another aspect and variation of that. And this has to happen for us to live our dreams, because I'm never going to be able to have a positive, healthy relationship with a personal lover or anybody in my life across the board until I start loving me and quit abusing me energetically in some way, shape, or form internally in my heart. Like, for example, this is really great. And this is great for everybody here across the board, right? Because here is what happened to give you, to broaden this perspective for you and give you more insight, right? In my personal relationships, and I just went through this yesterday, I said to this person that I love, man, I said, hey, I love you. And the dude can never say I love you back. And I'm like, what the fuck, God? I'm like, what is going on that he can't say that? And literally, the voices in my head that come from the universe, the very same tools, gifts, angels, love energy, my heart, my soul, right? And stepping into all these energies with God, right? Everything that is love talks to me, right? This is what I do since I was little. Okay. So what happens is I said to God, why can't he just say he loves me back, right? And they said to me, why can't you say that you love you? And I was like, fuck. I'm like, where is it in me that I don't love me, right? Because that's why this shit is happening in my life. That's why people aren't nice to me. That's why I'm having so many challenges. Because what happens is this shit comes to a head over time because you haven't got the message from the universe. I get it now, right? And this is for all of us. So apparently I had more healing to do. But this isn't just my story, man. This is all of our stories, right? So I hope that answers your question. You can work with me. You can work with anybody you feel called to metaphysically. You can call here. We're going to be doing healing lives too as well. When I say healing lives, what I'm talking about, giving you guys similar tools, working more personally for call-in work on your souls and creating your life streams to happen, because there's nothing like this really out there in the world, even these lives. We've got to do things now to change this world because it's a fuck storm. And the only person who's going to give a shit about you is you. And it's time that you start loving you. And when that happens, all the people who love each other, who come from love, come together from that same love, right? All the people who, when I say love each other, would be those people who come from love, who will be your people. They won't betray you. They won't be shitty to you. They won't be toxic to you. Because in a perfect world, that's how it really fucking works. When everybody comes authentically from love and doesn't have some kind of shit, well, if I get one up on Laura, well, maybe I could steal her wallet, or maybe when she's not looking, I could get her to pay for lunch for me. As long as I have shitty intent in some way, shape, or form in anything that I do, and I'm not coming from the healthiest space of love for me, I'm fucked in some way, shape, or form. I don't care who you are, because this is all the power. Love is all the power for all of us. And this is what's happening in the world. So when people come authentically from love, they communicate, they work things out. And I can have differences, right? I can have differences between Biden and Trump and religion or not, or whatever your beliefs are. If I come from love, we can live copacetically together from this space. How? We work with love all the time. We talk to God, we talk to universe, we talk to angels, we talk to love. Doesn't that make sense to you guys? Yeah. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
I was going to say, Teresa Courtney Lloyd is saying, I love you and you speak my language.
Yeah, you speak mine too, girl. Awesome. Thanks for coming too. Anytime. Go ahead.
Debbie Oper is asking, should they trap the semi-feral cat named Baby and take him to the vets? Will he let them get close to him?
Is this that orange cat that Nick sent me pictures? Can you?
Jen saying
Yes.
Okay, I didn't hear. All right. Yeah, I feel like I thought Nikki and me were going to talk about this into the future and do an appointment, but I do feel like it would not hurt to have him checked out by a medical doctor, just to get an overall health view. And don't let them inject anything that you are not sure of. In other words, talk to God, create what you want to happen from love, the best outcome, the best gifts, the best tools. I do feel like there's something, I do feel his face is going to heal. But when I get in that space, I just really feel like I want like a traditional Earthworld medical doctor team to look at his face, because I can feel it right here. I'm just getting in that space and I'm asking God, why? Universe, why? Because there's something about structural damage that they may be able to help him with. You may not need to do it. You may need to do it for him. Something about the muscle structure in his face to help him. And this is about not being in pain. And this is why I'd say, oh, well, normally I would normally be able to help you, but I'm not a surgical type of doctor. So or a doctor in any means like that. So I don't want to misconstrue people or anything like that. But what I'm getting from universe with my medical intuitive gifts, that it is wise to just take him there, get blood work, get him tested, get him checked out, because he does come in as being underweight. But before you do all the crazy stuff, meaning all the shots and all the stuff that they try to tell you that you need to do, stop and ask God that he gets the best treatment from love of everything that he needs. But also this comes in as possibly him needing surgery. But this isn't a... I think it would heal cosmetically, but what it comes in is there's something about him not being comfortable in nerves and pain in his jaw. So this is why I want them to check it out and see what's going on there. It's more that, because I do feel like he's healing. I do feel like he needs more nutrition and he's a little behind the 8 ball, like his immune system is down. However, that's why I would recommend you to go to a normal doctor. You see, it's not that I don't believe in normal doctors. I believe in doctors who come from their hearts, all right? But I believe in praying on everything and asking and creating what you want from love and God, so that you get the best care, the best of everything you need. I also believe in the least amount of chemicals as well, but you must follow your heart and do this for you. But this comes in as nerve damage and structural damage that if he could possibly might get some surgery, but you have to weigh it out with what's really going on. Get the stuff together and I can talk to you about it before you decide to do the surgery, and I would advise that. But you can also talk to your angels, you can also talk to God, you can also talk to anybody else that you want, but you feel in your heart what is best always, okay? Regardless and with whatever I say, and create it. Pray for the best healthcare. Pray for the best, of everything you need from love and God and universe for your cat. The best health for you, the best vet appointment, the best doctors who are going to do the greatest job for you and your pet and get to the God's honest truth. Not the truth of somebody else, not the truth of the doctors, but the God's honest truth from God through this whole process for you, right? So bring those things to me if you want, right? And if not, that's okay too, but definitely do this for you and your cat, because then you can make some furthering steps to see what's going to be best for him. They may tell you, oh, it's $5,000 to fix his face, but they also may give you some other alternatives, and or I may be able to, that are natural for your cat to help you. But also some other practitioners and healers could do that for you as well, natural medicine people as well. And you always want to go natural whenever you can, but there's a reason you go to doctors, because you can work with these tools for you, right? A doctor's just like, I went to the doctor the other day for a blood test, for a couple of blood tests to see what's going on with my health, and they're telling me it's rheumatic and I need to see a rheumatologist. But the truth of God is, I know what's going on. I already had this discussion with the universe, but this is to get me some answers so I know how to heal me. It gives me more insight how to directly pinpoint anything in my medical blood test, right? As I talk to God about it, or universe, or spirit, or love energy, right? To heal me, right? So this is why, one of the big reasons why I still employ doctors, and there's a lot of great things in modern medicine, absolutely. But ultimately, you feel in your heart, we all should be feeling in our heart what is best for us, right? If you go to a doctor and it doesn't feel right, then you pick a different fucking doctor, right? Or you ask God for the best one for you, right? And that's what you do, okay? So there you go. Go ahead. Who's next?
Sarah Walsh is asking, she says hello, and she says, will I be able to get mortgage to buy my house in the next year? And then she said, please.
This is Sarah.
Sarah Walsh, yeah.
All right. It's kind of strange. When I get in the energy of it, it feels like I want this, I don't. I can, I can't. All right, so I feel there's some patterns in here in you and your soul that you need to clear. You want this house, you need to make sure that this is the house that you want. Clear the energy out, and let's ask God for that now, please, and put the best way to be in place this. And that if this is what's best, that you get this house. And if not, that universe brings you the best house for you. Because until this garbage is cleared out, it's going to drag on. But also trust the universe that if it does drag on, because there's different avenues that this can take, but the first thing is this clearing that must happen in your energy, because you're blocking it from being solid and coming right in and happening, right? Now more than ever, if you're in alignment with God, things just happen for you from love. So if you're doing your work or you're not hitting any blocks, they happen. When you hit a block, right? Like if I say, God, why haven't I paid my taxes, right? Fuck, I got to pay my taxes. And God says, just wait. Just wait. We'll tell you when to pay your taxes. I'm going to say, every day I'm going to say, okay, God, I need to pray to pay my taxes. I need to get this money to do this, right? But if universe tells me to wait, or I'm not doing it, or just like the house that we're talking about here, then that means there's something in me that I have to clear, heal, and change, or create to happen, or blocks to change, or do energetically in earth world. So let's ask God for those answers, right? Let's clear all the stuff that stops us from doing this. But also remember, the collective consciousness plays a massive role here, okay? Massive, because there's going to be there's a propensity for a massive housing breakdown in the next 2 to 3 years. To 5, and they're going 5, 6, 7, 8 in the long term, but it's coming. Just like the financial stuff, right? There's going to be a lot of changes here, right? So if you don't get this house, right, or this mortgage, it is because universe is saving your ass, right? It's going to bring you a house, but it's going to bring it to you in the best, most abundant way, because you're in your heart, right? When somebody isn't in their heart is when things go south for them, right? Or not well for them. So if it's being held off, you have to look at all these different avenues. The first thing you do to do that is ask God, how do I change this? What do I clear? How do I create this? I put it out there. Ask God for what you want, and then let it go. Tell universe that, and be this. Be happy no matter what happens, whether you get the house or not, because that's the best way to cycle around and make that happen. And if not, they're going to bring you the best house. And if it doesn't happen when you think, trust the universe. It is so much more in alignment than with our people thoughts across the board in everything in our lives, especially now. It's working for light workers. It's working for the people who are in their hearts. This earth world, raising a dimension, healing the planet is happening, right? Whether the darkness thinks so or or not, it is happening. You are so in alignment with the stars and love energy, and it's going to keep on happening, right? So you're going to know if it's time by what physically happens in Earth world. If it doesn't happen, just like me with my taxes, okay, God, then let me pay them ASAP now, please, right? Thanks God for that for me. And if it doesn't happen, or I keep being sidetracked or doing something else, that's in the grand plan of the stars. And I'm going to look into it in my soul to clear out my blocks, but I'm also going to always be talking to God, right? All the time. So you will get a house. It may not be in the time that you think. I feel like you can get the mortgage for this house, but I feel like there is something better for you, and they may hold off because they don't want you, and you don't really want that, to invest in something when it's so overvalued that and that if the market crashes, you're underwater. Remember 2007, 2008? Right? Because that is massive insight to part of what's going on here and into the future. But ultimately, you're going to be fine no matter what. You will have a house. It just might be in the way that you think. But if it starts to flow, that means you've cleared your blocks and it's meant to be. Okay? All right. Jen, did you have something?
No, I was wondering actually if anybody in the audience had a question.
Audience people? Hey, audience. You guys got any questions? No? Sophie? No? All right. So my audience people don't have no questions yet. All right.
I was actually going to ask about...
Oh, wait, they do.
Yeah. I had a similar question because I just was offered, they asked me if I wanted to buy my condo, like, this past week. And I was curious as to what you're picking up on for that. I don't know if we really talked too much about that. I don't think we have.
I feel like there's something secretly underground going on with the management. I feel like this is about an investment bail on them. Somebody's going to either sell the property or move out of the property, and that's why they want to offer you to buy this house, because this is about them trying to make maximum dollar in this on these times. So I'm getting a no. Yeah, I'm getting a no. It's totally different from what I told. Who was our last girl? Sarah. Sarah? Okay. Yeah, it's totally different from what I told Sarah, because what they're doing here is they're secretly trying to take advantage of all these people, right? And even though you could say, well, they're not really, they're just being good businessmen. Yeah, no. You know what I mean? You know what your intent and your motives are. So they're saying no for you. Do you know what the offer was?
It's actually $10,000 less than what it's valued for. So.
Right, but what is the value?
The value was 199, and they offered it to me at 188.
Yeah, I'm getting no, that's too much money for that. And that isn't because it's cheap or what is the word I'm looking for, God? It's because it's not the best value from love in integrity and honor and respect. In other words, they're not doing the right thing. Even though it says this, the real value is up here with God. Do you see what I'm saying? The real value is more like 110. Do you see my point? Even though right now in this fake reality we live in, and when I say fake, it's disillusioning. It's the era of Pisces, right? It's the end of the age of Pisces, right? So really, its true value and worth is always known by spirit. Do you see what I'm saying? And it is not that. It's way overpriced, even though they're telling you that it's less than that. And so, I mean, obviously, you have to do what you feel in your heart, right? But they're telling me that there's better stuff coming for you, and to sit tight. You'll know when it comes. You're super intuitive and super gifted, Mark. Wait for it. That's one of your challenges in this life, is waiting for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Clear don't change all that for us. We're so fucking patient. We want it like yesterday, right? So clear don't change all energy. That's all of this in our souls, so that we are the best way to be from love in place of this. And thank you, God, for that for us. And may you get the best house for you. You know what I'm saying? And it may be, Mark, that 2 weeks from now, they could drop the price to like 140 and you say, well, fuck it. I'm going to go get it. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So wait for it. So this can change. Everything is so super changing all the time. But always talk to source, always feel it in your heart, and always remember that you have a natural Aryan tendency to do before you think, right? Or do and be impatient. Or like Capricorn takes its time, Aries jumps on it and then thinks afterwards. Do you see what I'm saying? That's a chronic way of Aries. It's a chronic, meaning it's just a natural characteristic of how they do things. They're great at getting things done, right? But sometimes it behooves us to sit tight for a minute, but it always behooves us to talk to God, right? So when you feel it in your heart, ask universe, should I get this? Should I not? Is this what's best for me? Is this the best value for me? Am I going to be happy here? I also feel like Lucky, Lucky, right? I feel like Lucky would like a nice yard, and you would like it too, where you could open a door, because I see a glass door, but I see where Lucky could go out into the grass and be chill. You know what I mean? Like have his own yard. I feel like he wants a tree, something shady. Did he used to lay under a tree? Do you know?
He was laying under a tree today.
Yeah, because he's laying under a tree today. Yeah, see, he loves trees, he loves shade, he loves the outdoors, and he does miss that. And I feel like this plays a role in here too, as why it's not everything is about money, contrary to popular Earth world belief, right? Okay, all right. So good.
Yeah.
All right. How about any more of you guys out here? Did you got anything? I had a feeling you did. And if I call you Isis, please don't take offense. It's a pretty name too. Okay, go ahead.
Am I a light worker, or like, what is my purpose in the universe?
What's your full name?
Alexis Jade Roseboom.
Alexis J's Rosebloom.
Alexis Jade Roseboom.
Roseboom. I like it. All right. So, Alexis. Letter A is the first letter in the alphabet. So, Alexis tells me the name Alexis is that's the name you came in with. That's like the first part of your life. The jade is moving into more of a spiritual space, like a stone, right? A stone. And then the rose boom is like rose bloom, coming into your own for self-love. How fast you want to pull that together and go with that is you. Absolutely. You are one of these higher vibrational souls that came into the world to change it. I know that you already know that, yes? Yeah. So you're just getting validation of that, but it always helps. You have a really big mission here, but the very first one is about, if you think of jade, for the most part, every time I think of jade, I think of a green stone. Is it not a green stone?
I think it's green.
Yeah, but there may be other jades as well, okay? But when I think of green, I think of heart. Heart is green. Again, Aries healing, Aries Chiron healing, heart healing. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. So this is about you healing you first to really be able to step into it. But there's no reason why you can't simultaneously do all your dreams. Do you see what I'm saying? So you got this, but you must work on you. You're a super powerful healer. You also have a lot of witch energy. Are you aware of that? You do. It comes out in your appearance. There's like a...
My aunt is a witch, so she used to practice witchcraft.
Yeah. So you have a lot of this ancient witch energy, but what you do with that energy is all the difference in the world. Witchcraft is not a bad thing, right? It's about anything that we do practice religion-wise, and anything we do in our lives is about, are we in our heart with what we're doing? Do you know what I mean? Like somebody I read on the internet the other day, and somebody was like, somebody told me to take a look at this. And it was something about, thanks God for bringing that into me now, please. What did they say? They wanted to, somebody stole something out of their person. They trusted that person and in some kind of witch group. And what they wanted to do was they wanted to punish the person who did this. The second you're doing that shit, you're on the wrong path. Do you know what I mean? They're like, give me a spell to do this. I'm like, oh, fuck no. I'm like, no, you know what I mean? Give it to universe. Okay, God, take this energy, ask why it happened, because your energy created that somehow, some way, right? Ask God to clear it out. Ask God for the best way to be in place of that from love, right? And ask universe, send that energy back, boom, from love, right? Because then love takes care of it. People think that love means that you don't do shit like that and you're a doormat. It's not spell toxic. I'm not trying to punish anybody. I'm just taking the nasty shit that they stole from me or sent out to me, and I'm just giving them right back to them. But when you do such things, like all of us, we have to be damn sure that we're in our heart and we're doing the right thing from love. How do you do that? You ask love, right? Because if you start sending energy back to people that's toxic and you're coming from a shitty place, then it's going to snag you too, right? You don't want that, right? Right? So the bottom line is when you go out to punish somebody, it's not your job to punish or judge or shame or make somebody guilty, right? What you do is you ask God, why did this happen? Why did this person who I thought was my friend, because there you have betrayal energy, they lied to you, they stole your keys out of your purse or took your money or whatever, right? All of these things have to be looked at. Where are you stealing from you? Where are you not honoring you? Where are you not respecting you? Where are you not loving from you? Where are you having abuse in your life over and over? It'll be in your astrology, it'll be in your heart, it'll be in your soul, it'll be in your reality. That's why the money was stolen, right? So this is clear this out of you, heal this in you. You can take that energy if you feel it in your heart to send it back, then you do, right? Because you know what is right in your heart, but always talk to God and universe about it. So you make sure you're doing the right thing. Because people go, oh, if you're a high-end spiritual person, you don't do shit like that. That's bullshit. That's bullshit across the board. People think that spiritual people are doormats. They are not. When you love yourself in the healthiest, best way, you do not allow anybody to walk or shit on your table at all. At all. And how do you do that from the right place of love? Not a nasty, shitty, toxic space. You talk to love. You talk to God. You talk to universe. You feel in your heart. Doesn't mean you don't have your people anger space or your upset space. You do. But you do it in a healthy, best way from love. And if you can't do that, you ask God that you can. You clear it all out. You ask God for the best way to handle it. And then it so is. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. And you can create it. If you don't know how to create it, ask God that you just do it. Do you see? Yeah. So you have all these tools. This is about a lot of heart healing for you, right? Of stuff like this. Because that's how you're going to step into all your power. The more clear of a channel of love energy that you are, you have to eat, breathe, live, sleep this life for you, right? First and all from love. If you so choose to, right? From love. Right? If this is what you want, right? But this is how you're going to live your best destiny, whether you're like me or a spiritual or a light worker, right? More so, most importantly, for light workers and spiritual people who want to be great gurus and have great dreams and want to change the world, right? You can't do it without God. I don't care who the fuck you are, right? It's love. It's love. So you can tell me how psychic you are and what a great healer you are, but if you ain't connecting with Source and working with it 24/7, then you're at a loss. You're at a loss. You can't do what I can do because you're not working with love and God in the purest form. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why Christ said, oh, ask and you shall receive. If you don't believe me, try it. Do you see? That's how my energy is so fantastic. This is how I know how to heal me. This is how I work with God all the time. And I'm working on my stuff because I'm a person first. I'm not better than anybody else. Neither are you. But we all have the same grand design of all that is love, that is God, right here in our heart, right? We're all this. And it's us who does what we want with that energy. We can choose to be shitty or we can choose to be really great with it. But we must always think of ourselves first from love. When you don't know what to do, ask love what love would do. Ask God what to do. Ask universe to speak through you. Ask universe, God, love, for the God's honest truth. Okay? So all that makes sense? And if you take these tools, everybody here, and if you take these tools and you start working with them, you're going to raise your vibration. You're going to open up your gifts more and more. You're going to start, great things are going to start happening for you. Money coming in, finding your path, living your dreams, great relationships, great friendships, abundance across the board, right? Because the only thing that stops you in this world and in anything, right, is yourself, your heart space. If you're not in your heart for you, just like me, if I don't love me, I'm screwed, in some way, shape, or form. And it's a journey. It's a journey for all of us. But you got this. You came in here to do this work. All right, so who's next? Go ahead.
Okay. Sherry Sexton Wolfer is asking what you see for her in reference to a job. And she says hello.
Hi. Hi, everybody. All right. Sherry, what's coming in for Sherry? What's coming in is there's something about home health care, renovating, changing home health care, and traveling. Something about setting up some kind of group thing to help heal people. Is she commenting on that? Is she any bit aware of that? I feel like this is coming into her future. She's got traveling energy. I feel like she has either a Sag ascending or powerful Sag aspects or more prominent Sag aspects of Sag moon, Sag ascending, Sag sun sign, but she's got some stuff that's about traveling. But overall, I feel like it's short term. It may be that she has Sag in her third house, but still for short term traveling. But this comes in as an option for you. But it's not like when I get in that space, it's not like the earth world. Everybody's new ways in earth world are going to be changing, right? Everybody's old world ways are going to be changing to new world ways into the future. So like we might think of home traveling and healthcare as a traditional way, like I'm at a home nurse and I go from house to house, but it's more than this. I feel like you're going to be morphing it into having fun. I feel like there's new doorways coming into the future that have all to do with this. So you're going to be like studying while you simultaneously do this, and you may hold your other job or this old job or a job in between this to make your earth world's needs met as you go down this path and get more into this space.
She said that she's a Reiki master and a crystal healer, and she's also a Libra, but she said she's going to check on her Sag.
Okay, but that makes total sense because it's going to be in new age ways. Mm-hmm. So I feel like she may go visit these people and use this in healthcare in some way, shape, or form, and or start a new group for healing, like natural healing. Like, because people think of it as I go to the elderly's people's house and do medical care, where I change the bed sheets or I help people shower or help them eat or clean their house for them. I feel like there's a great propensity for you to start a group, for you to start a business with all these tools, and that makes sense, that the stones and all that, to bring this, because the new world is changing to higher vibrations of love and entrepreneurship, because the person who's going to do the best for you is you. Otherwise you become like a sheep in the mainstream of the job stuff. But of course there's exceptions to every rule, right? But light workers, high-end God people, all spiritual people are usually, most of the time, super creative and creatives, and they will have many careers, right? And they'll be entrepreneurs, right? So I feel like you're going to be exploring more of these avenues, putting it together, hooking you up with more traditional people who do the healthcare. Go ahead.
She said she's trying to get into nursing homes with her Reiki.
Oh my God. So she says she's trying to get into her nursing homes with her Reiki, right? Could we be more on? Thanks God. Thanks, right? So you see the connection there, right? Yeah. So this is great. Yep. So you're right on the right path. So keep going. I feel like you can do this in hospitals, nursing homes, as well as of another home healthcare business where you would put your flyer where when the people get out, nobody wants to be in a fucking hospital, right? And not if they can help it, right? So I feel like they want to be in their homes and they want to live just like you want to live, like we all want to live, right? So I feel like you'll be bringing this also to their homes on another avenue of personal jobs. So I feel like there'll be three. Three is active number of God. I feel like there'll be at least 3 different avenues that you'll take this business down, and possibly even more. I'm excited. This is so cool. This is so cool. Let me know how it goes. Thanks. All right. Who's next? You have one, Jen? Okay. Right.
Shade Cross is asking what the castle aspects in his astrology chart mean, and here are his castles.
All right. Good job, Brian.
Jennifer.
Oh, stop it, Jennifer. Great job. All right. Castle aspects in his chart and what they mean. All right. There's a lot of different aspects. Oh, what's really cool is I see a star. There's a star in here. Yeah, each one of them has different star. That's the castle energy they're telling me. What they mean. All right. Thanks God for the God's honest truth of all of this. All right. There's all different... Let me just say, clear, don't change all energy that's blocking. Hold on a minute. We kind of got... All right, just give us a second here. All right, we just had a little technical difficulty. All right, thanks God. All right, castle. Castle is like king. It's being on the top of your game. Without getting too into astrology and all the castles that you going on and taking like hours into this with God, which you can do and we can do on our personal time, or we can do on an appointment time, or you can take classes with us and we can explore more into the astrological aspects of that traditionally. We can definitely do that, all right? There's all different kinds of different aspects that make up things like yods and castles and crosses, all right? So what universe tells me, though, is off the bat, a castle is like being the king. It's like a kingdom, right? The fact that you have so many of those, and what did you say your name was? What is his name?
Shade Cross.
Shade Cross, right? Right. So to me, it's like castle, king, lifetimes, having many, many, many lifetimes. So the castle is being the king of your destiny, having great resources available to you, being a leader, people look up to you. So there's all these magical energies in all different ways. This is why there's so many of them, and in different, let's say, elements and at different degrees. We really go into each one of them. But across the board, this is definitely a big insight to your spiritual gifts. And it's funny because you say Shade Cross, right, is the name that you go by, right? And cross could be cross like, don't get cross with me. But cross is also a sign of God. It's, it has to do with Christ's energy, highest love energy, the consciousness of that, right, has to do with that. It also has to do with religion stuff. But the castles, as you can see, is like a star in there, right? And the star is like Star of David. Again, it's validation of this magical Christ energy and having multiple gifts to be a leader, to be able to help the people, to be, and I hate to use the word politician, but back in the day, the king was a politician too, and so was the church. If you think about it, the church was the government. The kings were also the government. So there's all these different gifts that you have in here, as well as equally a balance of some pretty big healing to do and work to do on you to open up these gifts, right? So the castle's energy comes with really great the word is like a high priestess, God energy, love energy. It comes with that. And the star, you're a star at these things. So, and there's many of these stars, and the fact that there was at least 3 on there that I saw. So Father, Son, Holy Spirit. So you're really connected, and you have a lot of good, amazing gifts. So I would really look into them and start doing some work on the astrology of my chart to get to see and understand them better in Earth World language, because they're all right there in your soul. But the biggest way you do that is talk to God, ask love, ask Jesus, ask God, ask Spirit, ask Universe. It doesn't have to be Jesus, but it just has to be that purest form of love energy, right? Okay, so go ahead.
Eva Hahn says hello, and Tammy says you're awesome.
Yeah, Eva.
Oh, yay! Thank you, everybody too for coming. Huh?
What's my aura and the meaning of the color?
The aura. What is your aura? Okay.
And the meaning of the color.
And the meaning of the color. It's funny because when I look here, this is what happens in Earth World. You ask me a question and God shows me the answer in my physical reality as well as mentally. The first colors that came in for you were green and yellow. All right, you're very much in Earth World, right? But what's so fucking funny is they showed me these, right? Here he is. Here's his aura, green and yellow and another shade of green. And then he has blue. And then he has this hot pink. And then he has this orange. How fucking funny is that, right? They're sitting right here on my table, right? He asks the questions. I look down and they go, here it is. Here it is, right? To show me, because I could see the green and the yellow. But what they're showing me is all these auras and all this aura. It's not auras. It's the light of your soul. It's in layers, okay? And this is the space that you're in right now, okay? You're very much in Earth World. You guys are boyfriend and girlfriend, right? Oh, you're what?
That's my sister.
Okay, so this is your sister. Okay, because you know why? Because there's a lot of boyfriend and girlfriend energy between you, all right? But this doesn't mean that it's going to manifest in this life right now. So when I say stuff like that, it comes out because this is about past lives, okay? Did you guys ever feel, not that you would be together, all right? I don't want to get any freaky with this, right? When that shit happens, I go, okay, God, what is going on here, right? But they tell you right away. Huh?
This is my twin flame.
Your twin flame? Right. Well, we'll talk about twin flame stuff, right? Because we're going into a whole bunch of different things, and we'll definitely talk about that, okay? But you do have boyfriend and girlfriend energy, right? From past lifetimes, which is why that came out, okay? But your aura, all right, is in Earth World. In other words, right now you're in an Earth World space with this, and it's triggered by that boyfriend girlfriend energy. That's why that comes in as being the greens. The green is like Earth World, right? It's also about heart space, okay? All right, and healing in your heart. You coming here is about total healing, all right? And the twin flame stuff, we could talk about that. Let me just see what they're saying about that. Yeah, they're telling me since you guys come to see me, or you guys with your mom works with us, right? They're telling me that we can talk about this more in depth together and get to the bottom of it, because this is not something that's going to take 5 minutes. Does that make sense? Like for the live show, right? This is a more complex, when you say to me, we're twin flame energy, so this is more complex, so we'll get to the bottom of it. It doesn't mean we couldn't do it in a live show. We absolutely could. However, because we have so many people, they're saying to me that we should discuss all of this together, because all of this is coming right now, and this is about your heart space healing, which is why these 3 colors came in on the top of the whole thing, right? That's the aura. Your aura is in layers, and it's showing me these colors right now, which also talks about the space that you're in right now and what you're here for.
That's
your
crazy,
healing.
Because right before you said green, I was thinking of green. Literally.
That's cool. I don't know. Did everybody hear him? He said right before I said green, he was thinking of green. He's like, that's crazy. Is it cool? So, and I'm not trying to dodge the question at all. It's just certain things are way more complex. And this is about heart healing. So right now in these times, it's major complex, right? Just like if you sat down, well, how do I fix the world? Well, you gotta give me a few days. You can't give me 1 minute, right? Yeah, just like fixing this whole world. Same thing, right? There's a lot of work to do. The answers are there, though, and they're all embedded and from love. Okay? So you good?
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else out here, people?
Can you tell me what my aura is?
Oh, it's funny. I looked right at that same fucking pile again. And then yours comes back as the opposite. So yours comes back as this hot pink and this orange, right? And then this blue, right? And it's so funny because these were just sitting here from last week. Like nobody like planned this, right? I don't even got to tell you people that shit anyways. But, so yeah, this, seriously, this is the hot pink. And this pink, any kind of pinks are about self-love, finding your passion, living in your passion, right? Orange, fire energy, passion, right? You got a pendant with what? Rose quartz, that's right, because your soul is screaming self-love. And in other words, it's getting in that space. That's the Aries Chiron, man. Everybody probably on this whole fucking program has pink on somewhere, pink underwear, pink nail polish, pink something, right? So yours comes in as being these colors, all right? Because what they're telling me too, and yellow is fire, and blue is also a very deep, strong, powerful flame, right? So, when you say to me, what color is this? This is what comes in. And it's funny, it's because, again, of that boyfriend-girlfriend energy. There's some major past life healing. That's why we're not going to talk about the twin flame shit, because it's indicative and with you guys, because it's personal to you. Does that make sense? So his green-yellow energy is all part of the counter energy of the pink-orange yellow. Do you see what I'm saying? It's really kind of cool. All right, but it's all about heart, being in your heart, healing, self-love for you. Okay? So, and we'll talk about it more. I'm sure you guys will be back because this is just too enticing. Right? Yeah. Okay, Rachel.
Jackie Herbst Bailey, I believe I pronounced it right. She sees the numbers 1234 and 1111 on clocks frequently. Is there a certain message from this? Thank you.
Hi, Jackie. All right. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for coming. If I don't see you on here, thank you. Thank you for coming. It's hard for me to see the phone. Yeah, help yourself. Go, girl. Get some candies. Okay, so 1111 and what?
1234 and 1111.
All right, I'm just going to write those numbers down. Hence, once again, the trust you pad. Oh. Blue is for emotion, spirit. All right, blue is emotion, hooking into God, right? Let's see. 11 and what?
1234.
Interesting enough, I wrote them like they were times. Do you see these on the clock a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm picking up. I wrote them like they were times, see? So I don't know if you guys can see that, but all right. So 1111 is a time, but it doesn't matter. It comes up as a lot of different things. The 1111 comes in as the number 1. Being in your heart space for you, that Aries heart healing is number 1 again. All right. And then, interesting enough, being number 1 for you. Also clearing, healing, and changing of baby energy and hurt baby energy. Somebody texted me today about them having baby energy, and they want to get rid of this baby energy that they got going on because it doesn't help them be a super powerful teacher or in a prominent, successful business, because babies need someone to take care of them, right? So there's this baby energy in here. So I feel like there's multiple messages in this number 1111, right? So 1111 first is number 1. The number 1 is 1 for you. It also carries Aries energy and baby energy and putting you first and living your dreams and passion, right? So that's the number 1. If you bring it in over and you add it all up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 1, 1, 1, 1 is the number 4, which is completion of God. So this is about you stepping into your new reality, the new doorways. Like there's, I think it's there's Lion's Gate is happening now, and from what I understand, and or the energy of that. So this is about new doorways. So the number 4 is about completion. So the Lion's Gate has something to do with this. It's the number 4, so you can look up Lion's Gate with that. It's this time of year. Also, it's about the number 4, the number of completion. This is about you being complete with the work, like the healing work that you've done, the old way of you. This is about new beginnings. Number 4 is completion. It's the square. Okay. It's also, the number 4 enlightenment. So you are on the path, girl. Totally on the path. The number 4, and now new doorways are going to open up and come for you. And this is all just reminders and messages from angels, God, love energy, universe. Okay. This is what this is coming in and for your best healing and best enlightenment. The other number, which is 1234, right? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's an interesting number. 1234, right? All right, God, what's the God's honest truth about this, and any more information from here to help and assist from love? What is her name?
Her name is Jackie.
Oh, it's Jackie.
Jackie Bailey.
Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. So 1234. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is about having a consecutive order of doing things that is like of the right way. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And this is about getting you to pay attention to these things in your life where it has to be a certain way. This is the way you do things. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it can't be 5, 2, 3, 1, or 4, 3, 1 and 2, or do you see what I'm saying? It's about, this is about not just the numbers themselves, right? 2 is about partnerships, all right? 1 is about being one with God. Of course, there are more meanings to these numbers, all right? This is the numbers that are most prominent, practical, God's honest truth of what is coming in for you right now, right? So the 1 is one with God. This is about being in alignment, paying attention to the ways that you do things that are methodical and stepping out of the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? All right, so 1 is about 1 being in your heart space for you, 2 partnerships with you for love, right? And from love. All right, 3 is about transformation, and 4 is about enlightenment. 3 is the triangle, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, right? Being in alignment with God, active God. 4 is about enlightenment on this journey and completion, right? And new. 1 is about also new beginnings. So you have some new beginnings here, Jackie, right? New beginnings, new partnerships, right? You also have, and it has to do with love in some way, shape, or form. That's the number 3, high-end God, unconditional love, and the number 4 is completion. This has been a dream of yours for a really long time, I feel like. I feel like it's about a partnership. It wouldn't surprise me if it's your dog or a new dog, right? And this is also about active God, unconditional love, and 1 meaning partnerships with this dog. And this can be with a dog, it can be with anybody, but I feel like it is a partnership of divine, super divine, and all these things are all part of that. Now, if I add this together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 4 is 10, is the number 10, end of cycles, which is also the number 1, one with God, and 0 is cycle of life, right? So 0 is keeps on going, 1 and 0. Okay, number 10, new beginnings. And so circle of life, and things continue on. But this is about the new journey for you. Did she say anything?
I haven't heard anything.
Okay, go ahead.
Margie Edmonds is asking for a friend if there is a cure for HSV 1+2, which I believe is herpes.
Yes. It's not necessarily that it is a cure. All right, so, right, here's the thing. All right, when we think about diseases and sicknesses, we have to think about belief systems, okay? We have been programmed, right? We have been living in earth world. We have been told over and over and over that, certain things you can't heal, certain things can't happen, and so you buy into these beliefs, all right? So things like HSV1, HSV2, and everything that's out there that is any kind of unwellness truly comes from deficits across the board in mind, body, and spirit, right? As well as in your reality, okay? But they don't happen in your reality, these deficits, unless they're happening in your soul, right? Everything happens to your soul, or from your soul and in your soul, right? This is the creator, your God connection from love, your heart space. It either creates from toxic or it creates from well, which is why I so employ clearing out shit. You can't have fantastic energy and dreams and great things happen to you if you're not in your heart authentically. All right, the more you are toxic in any way, shape, or form, whether you consciously realize it or not, energetically on a subconscious soul level and conscious soul level, it's going to fuck you up. It's the nature of all that is, right? So when you say to me about HSV1 and HSV2, the truth of the matter is anything and everything can be healed. The question is, how do they do it, right? Because in all this you could have holistic care, medical doctors, and they'll give you medicines that will help for these things. But the bottom line is, until you get to the energy that is within your soul at all levels of your soul, right? That and also gets embedded in your body. So this is about balancing earth world and metaphysical to get to the true healing of this. When we heal our hearts and everything that we are completely, right? Mind, body, and soul, then this too is healed, right? So, and people go, oh my God, well, it could be so much work. Oh no, it's not, right? We're all massively working on independently the whole world and all these Christ energy beings or love energy beings. It doesn't have to be Christ. It could be whatever you connect with that is God, that is love. And I call it God and Christ because this is this is my soul's journey, right? And if you connect here with that and me, then Christ is also one of your massive major guides, and you connect with the highest form of love energy, right? Because Christ did ask and you shall receive. So the bottom line is, yes, this can and will be healed, and it's through different layers of healing within the soul, metaphysically and physically in the body. But you will also use, as much as possible, natural earth world things, vitamins, minerals, herbs, oils, right? As well as some new state-of-the-art shit that is coming out, biologic peptides, I think they're called, but there's a lot of state-of-the-art stuff, right? But always talk to God about what is best for you, because there's synthetic stuff that doesn't help you, right? Sometimes it helps for a short term, but many times people like us who are super high vibrational and super sensitive can't take normal drugs. Like, for example, my dad, like normal drugs that normal vibrational or, earth world people can take, would take in earth world, right? Like being in earth world beliefs. So, like, to give you an example, my dad got in a really bad accident and he was in a coma, and he never did well with anesthesia. They had to induce him into a coma, and it took the fucker like 2 months to come out of it. The doctors were asking me, when is he going to come out of it? I'm like, you're the fucking doctors? I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm like, and then I was pissed, but I knew he was going to be okay, because this is what I do. I'm always talking to God, right? Because the more I talk to God, the more greater the life I lead. This is my soul's journey. This is my soul's mission. And if you're here with us, it's yours too. If you choose it, you don't have to fucking do anything. It doesn't matter. But if you want to live your best life and your best dreams, and you want to get to the bottom of this is how you do it, right? And we're working on stuff like that right now with my medical intuitive gifts and the team that I have here. And there's many different ways to heal things. It's not just one way. There's many ways. It's through energy work, right? It's through working through astrology. It's through variations, all different kinds of energy work, right? But the most powerful gifting tool that you have, and this is why Christ consciousness is the most powerful consciousness of all. Why? Because it's ask and you shall receive. That's what Christ did. It's not the religious thing. It's the ask and you shall receive. So it's about always talking to God for your answers and feeling in your heart what the truth is, right? So this is where all those answers are. So your answer in short term, yes. There is a cure for this. And we're working on it, and I feel like you're going to be working on it. And these are great things, because because really there's healing, but it's not in the way that they teach us in Earthworld. And yes, you could use Valtrex and you could use traditional Earthworld ways that they do that. And I know some homeopathic stuff, right? Like your doctors will usually give you the Valtrex, right? Or whoever it is, they'll give them Valtrex for herpes or some other kind of antiviral, right? But there's also things that are natural, like thieves and L-lysine that can help with this too, right? So, these are ways to help the symptoms, right? And many times we'll clear it or put it in remission. But until you get to what's going on in the soul that causes this to happen, and it could be multiple past life energies, it could be multiple processing in your soul. It's stuff, some of it, so much of it is subconscious that people don't even realize it's fucking there. But you'll see it because it'll manifest in your reality. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, I hope that answers your question. If not, you can always text me or ask more. Thanks. All right, anybody out here? You guys good? All right. Maddie Joe, you good? Okay. All right, Ray, what we got?
Harmony Star is asking if her and her guy will move in together soon, and if not, when they will.
Her and who?
Her guy.
I feel like not right now. I'm not getting that space. What's his name? His first name? It's good.
I'll let you know when it comes in.
Okay. All right. Let me just see. What's the God's honest truth here? I feel not right now. There's some kind of confusion. And I feel like there's stuff that has to be worked out first before this can happen. Some serious ass decisions have to be made about what you want and what he wants, right? Because if we're not clear with what we really truly want, or we think we want something, meanwhile we have a subconscious habit and pattern that doesn't really want that or contradicts that, then that creates challenges in the relationship that stop this from happening, right? So this is about, write down your list of things that are gonna that are in alignment with your heart, that are your dreams, right? Write these things down, okay? And this is about looking through that list and being sure that this is what you guys want. Coming together, talking, communicating, speaking to each other from love, through love, and praying on it. Ask God, right? For the best solutions. But the first thing to do is to get clear with what you want. Because you may discover, ask yourself, ask your heart, ask your highest heart self, ask your crazy ring is getting caught on my shit. All right. Ask your God connection. Do you see what I'm saying? Your love energy. Just talk to God. Say, hey, what is it? Is this really truly what's best for me? Ask love, right? Because I feel like you're going to find that there's some things that have to be worked out, healed, changed, and there's a lot of confusion in the communication and in the listening and what each of your goals are. Soon as that gets straightened out, this gets straightened out, and then you'll both be able to make the best decision for you both. Okay. And I feel it could go either way. It just depends on if you guys are ready for this. This level of communication is really the new world of relationships, and it's going to bring us together or drive you apart. Okay. All right. Gad.
Deborah Crouch is asking, the number 83 keeps showing up. Anything in specific I should know?
Okay, the number 8 is about abundance. The number 3 is about active God. Put them together, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have the number 2, right? And you also have the number 1, right? 1 and 2. Number 1 is putting you first. Being in your heart space. It's that Aryan energy and doing and getting things done. Number 8 is about abundance, infinite abundance across the board. Okay, so what's coming in here for you with these numbers, there's something about you doing to make that money, you doing to have that abundance, you doing like Aries, doing and get that money, to get the job, to get the things done. There's a connection here to you doing. But what's interesting is because it's the number 8, 9, 10, 11, it's the number 11, which is the number 1, putting you first. And it's also the 11 is the number 2, which is about partnerships with God, right? Partnerships with love, partnerships across the board. So when I get into the partnership space, I do feel there's multiple purposes here for this. The partnership part is with you partnering with universe following your heart and literally doing for you is going to bring you great abundance, not just in the traditional earth world way of a job, right? But this is where that abundance is going to come in. Does that, I want to say, does that make sense to you? Like you're going to answer. Like we're talking right here. Okay, God. So, so that's coming in for you. So the more you do for you in a positive, healthy way from love, the more you work with love or God or universe, and you follow your heart, you can do it any way you feel in your heart from love, right? The more infinite abundance is going to come in for you. And it's not just money. It's things, nice times. Like somebody could come to your door, a friend could come and visit and bring you a rose, right? And that's a sign that you're doing the right thing for self-love for you. Not just from your friend, but that's a sign from universe as well.
She said it does make sense.
Okay. Fantastic. She said that makes sense, peeps. Okay. So who else is next? Anybody? And how much time do we got? Whereabouts are we now?
We're at 8:26 p.m.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Jeff Ford is asking how to combat the fear going on in the world and change control back to God rather than the fear.
All right. Hi, Jeff Ford.
And Jackie says hi. Jackie Hankey.
Hi, Jackie Hankey. All right. Hold on a minute. All right. So when you say, this is complex, Jeff, because you're saying how to change with the fear in the world. Can you repeat that question, Rachel, so I make sure I understand
I
what he's
summed up
asking?
his question because it was a long one, but he's pretty much asking how to combat the fear going on in the world, and that's the propaganda of sorts.
Okay, so the propaganda of sorts. All right. So how you do that is you ask love to be free of it. You ask love to handle it. You give it to the angels, and then you live your life from the purest form of love always as much as possible in your heart. You don't have to do all the shit that I do. You don't have to pray all the time. It's very simply, if you guys aren't into this or can't do this, all you have to do is be in your heart. You know what the fucking right thing is. You know. We all know. Just like when they tell you some kind of shit on the TV and you know it ain't right, and you're like, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what the truth of God is or the truth of love is in your heart. We all do, right? Yeah. So, let me just get back into this space. So, the more you are a light and work with love and do your best to be in your heart space and you put it out to spirit what you want. People think all the time, we have no power, right? Well, I was in the restaurant the other day, not too long ago, and there were like 8 tables in the Japanese restaurant. And we were all having, like hibachi grill, right? And in the center was this screaming, crying baby. And I looked at everybody at my table and I said, and everybody in there is having a terrible, time because this baby is screaming, right? There's 8 different hibachi grills. Everybody's trying to eat, and this baby is screaming, and the parents aren't doing anything, right? And I'm just like, okay, God, I have all the power here. I'm like, let's change this now, right? However, I said to my people, everybody who came to dinner with me that night, right, who was there, right? I said to them, when you think that one person has no power to change this world or influence this world, take a look at this, because that's the truth. That screaming baby fucked up everybody's dinner, truth be told, right? Right here in Earth World, right? So you guys have all the power always, right? So that said, so what did I do? I asked God to be free of that screaming baby. I ask that we have the best dinner from love. We're free of any unwell with this, and everything's fantastic. And then 2 seconds later, the guy gets up and leaves with the baby, right? Because I have all the power here. You do too. And I didn't curse the baby. I didn't get shitty on the guy or yell and scream. I didn't talk to anybody. I talked to God. Nobody in the restaurant or even the people at my table knew I did that. Hey, I want to have a great dinner. Thanks, God, for that for me. So I have all the power here. So anytime you send out energy from love with this stuff here, meaning, what's going on in the world, thanks, God, for the best government for our country. Thanks, God, for the best world peace for our country and for the world, right? Thanks, God, for the best school systems, the best healthcare, the best government, the best people working together, the best abundance, the best everything from love. Thank you, God, for that for us, from love in the purest form, and send it out there. Clear all our blocks that stop that from happening, and let us be happy and free of being attached to it, and free of worrying, and free of fear, and free of toxic with all this. Thank you, God, for that for us. And make this happen now, please, from love. Because the truth is, Jeff, it's not our jobs to worry about this shit. It's our jobs to say, okay, God, how do I change this? Send this out to love. If it's bothering me, ask God to clear it from bothering me and follow my heart and live my greatest life and my destiny, because that changes everything. Okay, so this way you don't get all wrapped up in the crazy. However, if you feel that your calling is to start a group and do something active in Earth World, right? Like all this, the parents who are going now to the schools to stop like the 1619 project, right? I think that's the name of it, isn't it? But the project where they were teaching hate in America, right? The bottom line is, right, and I know it's more in depth than that, but the bottom line is anything that comes from toxic and hate is not coming from the highest form of love, and it's not the solution. So people can preach to me 17 ways to Sunday about how this is the truth, and it ain't the truth. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. The bottom line is every solution is from love, never from hate, never from unwellness. Now I can make myself crazy with that, right? As you can see, sometimes I get a little passionate. Right? Okay. However, right, that said, right, you could, just like those parents, they went up and they talked in front of the school boards and they said, this is not acceptable for my kids. I don't want my kids to be taught to hate America, right? Same thing with the Olympics. I mean, I can't even believe that you could even think that you should be honoring our country and get in the Olympics. That's crazy bullshit. You're not honoring our country and you think you should be in the Olympics? Oh, that's major fucked up energetically, man. So, but this is a talk for another day. But this just gives you the truth of God is that if you're not in your heart, then you're never going to win in the way that you could dream of winning. And winning has to be in alignment with source from love, your soul's destiny. You have to be in your heart. Look at Michael Phelps and all the awards that he won, right? Because he was in his heart. And the truth is, he might not like a lot of shit about America. I don't know what his personal beliefs are unless I ask God what they are, or Michael Phelps himself. And he might not even know them as good as God does or universe does, right? However, right, Michael Phelps was in a different love energy space than his country, than many of these athletes are today. And my heart breaks for the ones, in some way, shape, or form in my people space, for the ones that don't love their country, who are hateful and shitty and toxic. And they'll say, well, we're just acting out, right? Yeah, what is your intent? Any intent that isn't in the highest form of love is fucked. There you go. I said it. Because that's the truth of God. Truth of God. Right? So you do all good things, Jeff, and you be in your heart, and we all do, and we all send it together, and all this energy goes to change the world from love. Because all the solutions are right there. The more you work with love and understand the God's honest truth of love and the law of universe, metaphysically and in Saturn's earth world, right? The more you understand these things, the more you're going to always know and be in alignment with what the right thing to do is. And the more you work with this energy and follow your heart, the better the world is going to be across the board. Everything is about love. Communication from love, listening from love. If you have a problem with this, let's sit down and talk about it from love. And you can start these groups, Jeff, or any kind of group, meaning these groups, meaning groups that come from love to change this or work on this, right? Yeah, you have to stand up and talk in Earth World, but come from your heart. Do the right thing for you, your kid, from love for you. And universe will pay it back 100-fold across the board, because it will then, all this energy ripples out and everybody else starts talking out. And that's why one of the reasons we're doing this show is because I cannot sit here and allow the bullshit belief systems that are running left and right and crazy, because my soul came in here to do this, and my soul is like, yeah, it's like crazy that my soul won't allow this to happen in my heart. So this is my calling. I have to follow my heart, because we have to, not just me. This isn't just about me. This is about all of us. We have to stand up and do the right thing from love and teach the people what that is and act what that is. Do you see what I'm saying? Because anybody who doesn't do that is going to fold. And what happens then, right? But universe, the truth is, universe has already got this across the board. All right, what does that mean? Like, universe knows what's coming and what's going to happen, and it's already in the works, because there's simultaneously all these dimensions working at the same time. So the battle of love is already won. It's the battle of dark and light. I'm sure you all on some level know this, and we can talk about this more into the future. And you can feel and see this energy, right? Because it's coming out of all of us, all the yuck, right? So this gives you an idea of what's going on and where you can stand. Be in your own garden for you first. The universe will bring you everything. Your soul will bring you everything. Talk to God all the time. So you're always in alignment with your mission, your personal mission, right? And alignment with, let's say, law of universe and law of karma, or Saturn in earth world energy, right? Law of karma across the board. Okay? I hope that was clear. The universe is telling me, yeah, it was. Okay. If you have any more questions, just let me know. All right. But you can also, like I said, if you feel like you should start a group or something, do it. Do it. You can make differences in different ways in Saturn's Earth world. It's all about your heart's mission, your soul's mission. Just like that one girl had the mission to travel, and do the healthcare with her stones and shit. It's fucking crazy, right? All these systems, you can't stop God, right? There's not one Christ. There's millions of us, right? You can't fucking kill all the people because love wins, man. Fucking love wins. All right. Anyway, so get ready. All right. All right. Go ahead, Red. What you got?
Steve Bolton said, it's great to see you, Lynn. We are looking for surgery for their dog's leg. They have to get the leg fixed. The dog's name is Louie. He's asking what you think, yes or no, and what your thoughts are on it.
Ask him when he's doing this. Please.
I'll let you know when it comes in.
All right. All right. I just have some questions for you, Steve, if you can hear me. I'm just going to light some more sage, clear the energy. Clear the energy in Earth world. All right. I do have some questions. I'd like to know when the surgery is supposed to be, what's going on exactly with his leg, if you have the information, just short and sweet. I feel like he does need the surgery. I feel like it will be a good thing. However, where I want you to be careful or wise and don't be impatient with his healing. I feel like this is going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time. I feel like it's in the back, like in the back of his leg, like almost like a knee kind of joint thing. And I feel like a tendon issue, and it's going to take time. I also feel that you should look in not to necessarily to what the doctor says, but also other metaphysical tools to build up your doggy's immune system. Okay, his immune system, both before the surgery, if you can. I'm sure they have some things that you're not supposed to, or they like feed him. They'll say, oh, don't feed him and don't give him, water or something like the night before is what they usually say. But in your dog's case, I feel like this will be a good thing for him. Sometimes these things are an absolute necessity. He feels like the injury needs this, but I feel like he can heal it. Like you do the surgery, but I do feel there is a propensity for nerve damage. And if you give him the time to heal, interesting enough, when I say him, it also comes in as a her energy. So I'm feeling like this dog has been your dog, both male and female, in past lives as well. There's a really strong, powerful connection between you and your dog. However, let me just see. I'd like you to look into vitamins, minerals, herbs, and things that will boost up your dog's immune system with this, if you can, before you do the surgery, so you have a plan. If you want to talk to me about it, you can. You can go to talk to other holistic practitioners as well, you can do that. But there's something about helping him through this and get the best healing across the board for this. So give it time, extra time, not necessarily the time that the doctor says. Your dog comes in as being super sensitive and needs extra time across the board. I feel like the normal time is like 4 to 6 weeks. Your dog needs like 2 to 3 months. All right, so remember that. No running, jumping, mad, because I feel like there's a huge propensity for re-injury here. And if you build up his immune system before, right, so this means revamping and taking a look at what he's eating and everything else that's going on in him, okay? So, but I do feel like this will be a good thing. So follow your heart, pray on it, ask God for all the best answers, but this is the best route to healing for him, okay? Thanks. All right, how about you guys? You got anything over here? Mm-hmm. Jem?
No, not right now.
Okay, Ray. We good?
Yes, we have more people if you're ready.
Okay. Yeah.
Teresa Courtney Lloyd is asking if you believe that lost loved ones come to us in many forms. Like, hey, here I am. I had 2 fawns walk right into my yard last night and look right at me at the tail end of her family reunion. Sometimes she sees butterflies and hummingbirds.
Yeah. Absolutely. God is infinite. And, we are taught in Earth World, and Earth World is such that, there's a belief of the 3D, and there's a whole, I want to say like linear kind of energy or mundane earth world energy of this is the way it works, right? So, and it's, you know, it's part of all that is God, but it's not the God's honest truth across the board, right? Like, so, when you say about the deer and stuff, so you're asking me, she's asking me if I believe
that lost loved ones can come to them in many forms.
Oh,
like
absolutely,
animals.
absolutely. Yep. They can send in messages. They come in many forms. Absolutely, yes. One of the things that most everybody knows, or a lot of people know, if you're any kind of spiritual or on the path, is that they come in as cardinals. A lot of times, crows will come in too to give you a.
Crazy you just said that because
Yeah.
as soon as they were talking about the animals, like can dead ones come in from animals, I immediately thought of cardinals.
Too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, cardinals are about red. They're about passion. They're usually messages from people who have crossed over, right? So, and there's always other messages, but cardinals are just really all that is God, that is nature is just amazing. But that's cool that you shared that you guys were just thinking about cardinals, right? There are no accidents. So yeah. Also, crows a lot of times will show up on your door, your windowsill, or be around you. That's another, what is the word that I'm looking for? Another energy that is pretty prominent in Earth world for souls coming in. Just like when you see butterflies and moths, it's different forms of transformation. As well as, you know, in my particular life, in many people's lives, when I see those really strange caterpillars, yeah, there's like, it's like a heads up warning from universe, you know. When my dad passed away and I lost one of my dogs on the same weekend, right? My one dog was killed by a car. My father passed away on that same weekend. And that afternoon, that Friday before everything happened, right? Because it went down that Friday night, everything. And that Friday, before all the shit hit the fan, I saw these crazy ass caterpillars, and they were like these North Carolina devil caterpillars, and they were like this big, and I shit you not, like that wide, and they were all different colors. It's just fucking fascinating, right? And I was in my backyard, and I kept saying to myself, what does this mean? I was like freaked out because I knew something big and something huge and dark was coming for me, but I was like fascinated. And then that night my father passed away, and so did one of my dogs. My two dogs got out of the yard, and so it was a rough night. So there's messages and everything, and at the time I was in a different God space, so it was devastating for me. You know, any kind of transformation with people we love can be challenging, especially in our people spaces, right? But that's why you talk to God or universe or love, to get through these things all the time. I do feel, interesting enough, that those two baby deers are about two little children that are in the family. So I don't know if that makes any sense for you. Two children, either somebody who had a baby or a lost child that you might know about, or even on a secret soul level, a child coming in to remind you that and connect with you that they're part of the family. And babies and baby deer are so beautiful. Yeah, they're so lovely. Like Rachel's like a baby deer. Right? All right, so go ahead.
Teresa did say that when she asked you the question, the animals appeared again. She thought that was cool.
Cool, that is cool. All right, thanks, Teresa, for letting us know. And thank you again, everybody, for coming and supporting us. And the more we get the God's honest truth out to the world to help everybody, the better, right? So the more you can share our stuff, please do, or come to our shopping center and support us as well if you can, right? We're not, you know, I want everybody to be in their heart with it, if that's what they feel, right? So, and this is just all guided by the stars, like we said, because we got to change this world, and it is a hot mess. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that, right? Okay, go
I
ahead.
did want to add in, Teresa just wrote in too that she had 2 miscarriages in her life.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Teresa said she had, I hope you don't mind me sharing, Teresa, but I figure if you posted it there, it's on it, right? That you had 2 miscarriages, so those are those babies. Pretty cool shit, right? Yeah, because I see the images. I see them in like physical in here, right? Okay, so how much time do we have, and how many more questions are we across the board? I just want to try to keep it till 9 again
it's about
today.
8:45. And
Okay.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 8 more questions.
Okay, so there might be some more questions, but we're going to keep going till 9 o'clock, everybody, and then we're going to do this again next Sunday night at 7:15. Please share it. We're going to share it on my YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube in the meantime if you can, right? As well as we're going to move this over to its own YouTube at some point, and we're also going to open up and do more healing sessions and things like this as guided by spirit into the future. First things first, though, we got to get all this shit straight, and it takes a little bit of time in Saturn's Earth world. So we're going to go from here. And so we're going to go till 9 o'clock. And go ahead, Rachel. Thanks.
I'm going to skip to one question because I think it's rather important.
Okay.
Lisa Delau, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. She said their house burned down in February. They lost everything, including their pets. Please help us understand having difficulty getting through each day.
Okay. All right. Do you have a space to live right now? Does she have a space to live right now? I feel like she's trying to make it work.
I'll let you know when she writes in.
All right. All right, God, what's the God's honest truth about why this happened? All right. All right.
Have a place to live.
She does have a place, right? Okay. So when our souls call in stuff like this, it's major, catastrophic, super powerful stuff, right? Not unlike, when I lost my father and my dogs and then my relationship fell apart and the shit hit the fucking fan. I mean, I had another time when my father was in the hospital, right? He fell, broke his back in 3 different places, was in a coma. This is before he had that moment where he passed away, right? And then my brother went in the hospital 2 weeks later and my mother's house flooded, right? When you don't get the message from universe hits you in the back of the head or really in your heart so hard. And you're like, what the fuck? In our human places, in our human spaces, totally get it. That's part of Saturn's Earth world. When we're not getting something or need to change something, universe brings in things that we can't miss, that we need to address in us. So this is complex. This is not simple. Nobody's trying to torture you or hurt you or harm you. In fact, I'm getting from universe really great things are going to come from this. A huger heart space for you, because the burning, this is about destroying all your belief systems, everything, and starting over in a new space, a new life with new dreams for you in your heart, living your passion, right? But also clearing out the blocks that would create this kind of catastrophic event to happen for you, right? I do feel there's habits and patterns in here that created this to happen across the board. In here, meaning in your soul, right? Not necessarily in your heart space, but in your soul, right? Which is your heart and your soul, right? And we can talk about that, but in the future. But right now, I really want to focus on these habits and patterns that are in your soul. Let's see. So, and let me just see what they're telling me about this. This goes back to the 15th century and witchcraft lifetimes and healing energies and beliefs that, I know this probably sounds crazy to you, right? And beliefs that that you have bought into that has to tear up everything in your life to almost like be born again or to be happy again. All right, there's a subconscious thing or energy, soul energy. All right, now this is just one chunk of it. This is a major chunk. This is 72, 73, 74, 78 bounces around in there in your soul, that this energy, and it's not something you created consciously, like you say, oh, well, I want my house to burn down. Well, fuck no, that's not really how it works, right? For most people, unless you're consciously sick and you're aware of that, but that's not what I'm picking up on at all. I'm picking up on this has gone on since the 15th century, and this has to stop so that you can live and you can build things for the long term. If you notice, everything in your life in some way, shape, or form crumbles and fall apart. So it's not just about this fire thing, right? It's about the ability to follow through and not be destroyed and not destroy your dreams and have to start over in this way with these subconscious habits and patterns, right? I do feel we're going to clear this out and you're going to work on this into the future, and this energy will be gone. And I'm going to ask universe to clear, heal, and change all this energy to love in the purest form and best way to be in place of this for you and for all of us, because nobody wants this for themselves or anybody. So clear, heal, and change all this. Anything that is all this, that creates all this in all of us. And in place of this, put the best way to be from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for these gifts in our souls and all we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is. And let us truly be happy no matter what happens, and release this. And thank you, God, for that for us from love. All right, so that said, this starts that whole process. With whatever else other more work you need to do in here, it will come. You'll have a lot of not bad dreams, but you may have some dreams. I feel like sweating in the night. Had you been having this before? I feel like this whole process started with your soul, and you've asked God for relief, and you've asked God to free you from this, whatever pain, whatever suffering, and this is all part of that. This is the energy that creates that, but you'll see it across the board in subtle different areas and in ways in your life about following through, having to crash and burn things, and having to start over, but then you can't really build anything. And this has gone on since, like the 12th to the 15th century, over and over, and then to present day in some variation. And this is just because this happened because your soul is so fucking done with this. It's like, fuck this, I want this gone, and so boom, right? It blows up everything because now you can't miss it. You can't miss it. So this is about massive healing. It's not unlike in your heart, because now you're going to move forward. This is healing, right? And this will not happen anymore. And let's ask God to be free of that. And thank you for these gifts now, please, from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us. Just like my abusive relationships, everything from my home, family, personal life, and my relationship with my mom, to my relationship with my children now, to present day. All my men were all toxic for me all throughout my life. And I couldn't figure it out, right? And then universe brings it to me with a big boom. Same kind of thing. And we're all going to be experiencing shit like this. Not to this degree, meaning, but the whole world is, right? So this energy is Uranus in Taurus, and Capricorn in Aquarius, and Plutonian for transformation. So this is massive across the board, right? For the whole world. So there is going to be challenges like this, and I'm really sorry in my people space because I so feel for you. But remember, this is the fuel that you go with this, and you ask God to heal this in you. Thank you, God, for that for us, for the best new house, the best new life. And I feel like people are going to come together and they're going to bring you the things that you need to start, and it's already happening. I feel like you've had dreams because your soul has been wanting to release this for a while now, and this is all has to do with loving you and being in your heart for you. Because as long as you have these habits and patterns running in you, you can't live your greatest dreams and your greatest life and your greatest abundance. Makes sense, right? Crazy cool world though. But, sometimes in our people space, it sucks. So we ask God to be free of thinking and believing that it sucks. Heal this in us entirely. Give us the best way to see this, the best way to understand this, the best way to move on, the gifts, the tools, everybody we need from love in the purest form and infinite abundance. And anything that blocks that in us from happening, clear, heal, and change all that in us, in our souls, and when we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is. Thank you, God, for that. For, what is her name?
What was her name?
Lisa, and all of us from love. And thank you, God, for that for us. So any questions you have in reference to this girl, let me know. Okay? And it's in your chart. It'll be in your astrology chart. The fuck storm is always in there somewhere. So a lot of times if you look ahead, right, into the transits and shit, you'll find the fuck storm, and you can, by working on your soul, alleviate this kind of stuff in the future. And you'll have the best tools from love, right? A fuck storm doesn't have to be that way if we know what's coming and we work with love or God to change it. So thanks, everybody. Go ahead. And thank you.
Trey Ryder says hello. It's always great to see you.
Hey, you too, Trey. Good to see you too. Awesome.
And Ann Williams is asking if she will see her guy soon. They live a few hours apart. He said he will hopefully come in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Wondering if he will come and if he will stay over. And then she said, please. And Lisa said, thank you.
Lost my ring. What else is new? Transformation, right? Okay. Let me see. What's the guy's name? Does she have a name?
I'll let you know when she writes it.
Okay. All right, God, let me know all about, I feel like, no, there's going to be some kind of something that happens in a travel delay. It's going to take longer time, I feel like. I mean, there's a possibility, but right now it only feels like 2 to 3%. So don't get your heart all set up. Ask God to release this and be cool with whatever happens from love. I do feel like he will get there. It just doesn't feel like it's going to be till September. Like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Those are the numbers that come in. You will get to see him. I feel like he's going to stay for the weekend. Okay?
James is the name.
Okay. James. Interesting. James River is the first thing that comes in with that. So James River is in Virginia. That tells me about Yorktown. That tells me about ancient colonial times. That tells me that he's been around a long ass time. It's pretty cool during colonial times and ancient, like back in the history of America. And it's funny because a lot of the old world patriots have returned. Hi. So anyways, yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so go ahead.
Regina is asking what the different colors of the auras mean.
Okay. All right. There's lots of different levels of colors and auras and messages and colors. Colors go with astrology. They also go with everything that is God and have personal meanings to ourselves, personal meanings in the collective, personal meanings with chakras. A lot of people know the colors that go with chakras, right? Like I said, the green is about your heart space, right? But they also go with the elements as well. Okay. So there's a whole bunch of variations of what different colors mean, right? Like when I picked up these pads, right? All these pads that I have here, right? To get the colors of the chakras for some of the people over here in the live audience. When I picked those up, it was message from the universe that these are the colors of the chakras that was going on in them. So that was a personal thing. Now I'm just going to ask Rachel to revisit that question for a second. Can you please repeat that question? I want to see if I can't streamline more into this.
She said, what does the different colors of the aura mean?
Okay, so when you ask me what they mean different things for different energy levels, different systems of God, and on a personal level. But across the board, this is like a fire energy. So this is about fire is passion, right? This is a pink. This is also that. This is a self-love, right? A yellow is about sun, the light, healing. Okay, now these are just some of the stuff that universe guides me and tells me this is a totally fluorescent, right? When something's fluorescent, it's really bright and in your face, right? So it's like, you got to get the message, right? All right, and the same thing with this pink, 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 right? So like you ever see somebody, they wear this whole outfit and they wear these bright pink sneakers and they're like, right, and you can't miss their sneakers pop out because they're screaming for self-love, right? So hot pink, look at me, that's getting attention for the self, right? So yellow, again, yellow is about light, bright light, healing. It is also about the Father, okay? Father, Son, like Father, Son, Holy Spirit, like Father, Saturn, the Sun in Earth world, all right? And also green is about elemental energy. It's about earth world energy. It's about new life, new beginnings, springtime. All right. Again, yellow also is in fire, and so is blue. A really strong, intense soul fire is blue, right? Like the blue flame for healing, right? All right. So, but blue, I got all my notes here today. It's crazy notes. So like blue is emotional energy, like water energy, right? And blue is also truth. Like I got my astrology boots on today. I don't know if you can see them. If you can see them, but they're a dark blue, okay? So that dark blue, the astrology boot, right, is a spirit. Like my sister said, well, or Rachel said to me, she said, oh, blue is about emotion. And she's absolutely right. It is about emotion, right? However, blue, the dark blue is about being a mystic. It's about scorpionic energy. It's about getting to the truth of God, right? Getting into the depths of the soul, the depths of the truth that is all the truth of God, right? So you have emotional energy. A lighter blue is like surface energy. It also comes with Atlantis. It also also comes with energy of Atlantis. Like a blue like this is more Lumarian. A darker blue is mystic. Think about the sky, the galactical center, astrology, all that is God. So there's so many different meanings that come in with all of these things. And when people wear certain clothes, I can tell them, right? Like a lot of times people will see me in dark colors and black. I've been wearing black since I was like a kid. My mother fucking hates it. In Earthworld, my mother's like, can't you get out of anything but black, right? But the truth is, right, I'm a high-end high priestess, spiritual being from fucking lifetimes, right? And black is my zone, right? So this is why I do this. Same thing with all the rings that I wear and the bracelets and stuff. And some people don't like it. I don't give a fuck what anybody likes. It's not about them. It's about me from love and my relationship with God, right? So you wear your color and we're good. Just don't fuck with mine, right? So, but colors across the board tell us all about people, what they wear. You know, everything from how short somebody's skirt is to the leggings that they wear to the astrology boots that they wear, like I'm trying to tell you about, but I'm not going to take my foot out of here because it hasn't been an easy trek to get my foot in it. Okay. So anyways, the bottom line is, so colors, just like everything is energy. Everything is energy, from the jewelry that I wear to the black that I wear to the scarves that I wear, right? And the colors of those things as well tell you about the age of people, the energy of people, the hair that I have, the eye color, right? Eye color, because like they say, the eyes are the window into the soul, and that's totally, absolutely true, right? But the eyes also reflect lifetimes, right? And how you connect to water energy, what energy you decided to manifest in your physical being, right? So like your eyes, like mine are these really dark blue eyes, see, right? And they're like the same as my astrology bits, right? That means high-end mystic, right? That means getting to the truth of God. A lot of times people with scorpionic energy will have these really dark blue eyes or blue eyes like this, like a midnight sky blue, and this is to get to the truth of God. They'll have scorpionic or Plutonian energy, right? Other people, like my sister, has these gorgeous, like light blue, beautiful eyes, and when you look at her, you're like in the zone. You're like, whoa, I got to get away from that. It's like they're bright as this fucking bad, right? All right. So that said. All right, but I look at her and I see Atlantis, right? And she so is Piscean, right? Sure. So many of your water signs will have blue eyes, light green eyes, especially if they're Cancer, right? Or they have Cancerian energy. Cancer is medium, a lot of medium energy, medium gifts, because Cancer is the water on the top of the ocean. And what does that do? That bridges dimensions. That bridges earth. It bridges depths. Deep down, it bridges air as well. So they will automatically be multidimensional. We all have these gifts, but each one of us have different passions in our life and soul's mission that is all part of that for our destiny. And this is why our soul chooses to manifest these gifts for our healing, our greatest selves. But just looking at my eyes sends other people other souls subliminal messages about who I am. Just wearing this black tells people who I am. Wearing these rings and all this shit tells people who I am on a soul level, right? And most importantly, it's all part of my physical manifested energy, right? But I get out there and my energy tells people who I am, right? A lot of times people that, in the past, I go to spiritual shows and shit, nobody talked to me, but, what they do is they talk to my people, but they won't come and talk to me, right? Because they're not comfortable in my energy. They think I don't fucking know. I'm like, fuck, man. I'm psychic. I'm like, cut the shit out, right? And then they act like, we didn't do anything. And I'm like, man, if you got a question, ask me. But everything is energy, everything, right? And so just so you guys know the truth about all this. So everything I'm wearing, my light hair, white, sun, white, crone energy, right? So really, my sister likes that word. She's fucking laughing. crone, right? So, and again, crone has also ancient Ireland, ancient Celtic energy and witchcraft energy as well, right? Like one time I had this guy who came out and said, I met him at a show and I walked up and he goes, "You are a witch from ancient times, from a long ass time ago." And I looked at him and I smiled because I knew he was right. And then he said to me, he goes, "But you hide it." And I was like, yeah, because I'm not that dude anymore. I take this energy and I do something different with it because I choose to be this, right? Okay, anyway, so I hope those answers your questions about energy and colors. There's much more to learn always on everything that is God, and this is why I want you guys to tune in all the time so that we can teach you the God's honest truth about all that is as well. Go ahead, Rachel. Is there any more else questions? I know there's probably more.
Yes.
If you guys can save them for next week. What time is it now?
It's 9:05.
Okay, yeah. I'll take one more question, and if you guys can save your questions for next week and come on up more, share our shit all over the place, because the more we do this and help each other, the more we get people to see the truth and live their lives differently from love, because it's not anything remotely close to where I see this pen and this is just a pen and this is just a pad that we write on in Earthworld. And yes, this is true, right? But that's in the practical, mundane Earthworld. Really, this is an awesome tool. It's black. The color black tells me about a lot of things too. It tells me about darkness, right? Like black for me it means high-end spiritual deity, but for somebody else who might have skulls and blood or nasty energy on them, now they may just be tapping into their own darkness, but there's some darkness that's really fucking toxic, and you will read it in the colors that they wear, right? So same thing with this pad. You know, little did you know, or a lot of people don't know, this is flaming orange. This is fire energy, just like me. Tons and tons of passion, man, because we got to be in our hearts and live from passion. Okay, so I hope we answered those questions. And one more.
Jeannie Raider, real quick, is saying that she loves you.
Oh, I love you too, Jeannie Raider, and I love all you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Tyler is asking what comes in for her when she quits her job at the hotel. She's looking to leave in September or October.
All right, Jeannie.
Tyler.
Okay. Jeannie Raider says hi, and Tyler's asking the question.
Yes.
Okay, just got to
Sorry,
clarify.
guys.
No, that was, it's okay. All right, so, and that's really important too. Clarify. Communication, man. Communication. Make sure people know what you're saying. And if you don't understand shit that I say here, please text me, because we want you to have the right shit. The right shit meaning being the truth of love energy or God, right? In the highest form. Okay, go ahead.
Tyler is asking what comes in for her when she quits her job at the hotel. She's looking to leave in September or October.
I feel like she's not going to leave till January, February, March. I feel like there's something about gaining as much money as possible for the stuff in the times to come, with the preparations, you know, like getting food and banking on stuff. In other words, preparing in Saturn's Earth world and being prepared in Saturn's Earth world for anything physical that could come. So I feel like she's not, if she does do this, I feel like for some reason she's going to stay on, and I feel that's what I get is the main reason for this. So if it doesn't go down in the way that she thinks or wants to, or when, this is why. But I do feel it will happen. But I also feel like there's like some kind of gap in between there. I don't know if you're going to be taking like a hiatus or something's coming down with your family or in the collective, but I feel like there's going to be some kind of a gap in between that time. But remember, it's all in alignment with source before you get another job. Trust universe. But that's why in the meantime, if it doesn't happen, you bank. In other words, what do? You make sure you have cash, you make sure you have some gold, some silver, food, all the things that you need in case you can't get that or don't have that, right? Even now I see these challenges in this reality, and it's not to scare anybody. It's always wisest in Earth world to prepare physically, because we live in this physical world, right? And if we don't take care of ourselves physically, right, we're just as much as trouble if we don't take care of ourselves metaphysically, especially in Saturn's Earth world, because it tends to be relentless at times, right? Okay. Yeah, so that's really what I get for you as coming in. But this whole process that's coming in is going to lead you on a new path. And interesting enough, I don't know if you do anything with church or churches, but there's something coming in with that, as well as 15th century, and as well as flowers and florals and metals. So these things are coming in for you, and creatively, and new world ideas, but it's not right now. You have to go through this whole process. You see, metaphysical, in other words, all that is God and Saturn's Earth world go hand in hand energetically. Saturn, or Earth world, right, is all part of God. So there's a whole set of metaphysical rules here, and sometimes you need to get stuff physically, like for example, the house burning down, right? Sometimes you have to get stuff like that, and my dad passing away, right? You have to get the message sometimes physically to get the message, right? In Earth World, to get the message metaphysically, just like the people, this one kid who came to me who was an addict, he had to get the message when I told him over and over, hey man, you got to quit this stuff. You're going to get a DWI. You're going to, you need to change your habits. We need to work on this and heal you and work on this, right? And the kid couldn't hear me. So what happens? Saturn again brings it to him in Earth World, the DWI, the getting arrested for drugs, right? And it breaks my heart. But sometimes this is higher knowing of God and designed. When we can't get our heads out of our asses, Saturn's Earth World brings it to us and says, hey, you're not getting it. Let me show it to you in Earth World, because we live in this dimension, right? So, and that's why that happens. So this is also, it's not nothing bad or toxic like that is what I'm talking about here. This is about a process for you of getting you to that point on this journey in Earth World, and at the right time, which is God's time, not necessarily your time. So I hope you can put those things together, and if you have any more questions, do holler, okay? And bring them next week if you want to know more about it. But I feel like there's creative stuff coming in for you with all of that, and many different businesses. Again, the new world is about doing things for you, working for you in entrepreneurship for your best freedom, your best life, your best dreams. But nothing in this world is free. It is about energy exchange and a healthy space of love, right? And let me tell you, nothing is fucking for free. So when they send you that stimulus check, everything is energy. Remember that. If you don't want to be responsible for you, and you get that stimulus check and you don't want to work, or whatever the fuck your shit is, doesn't even matter. Universe knows how it works, and it is the law of everything that is. So those of you who don't want to be responsible, don't want to do it, and when you love what you do work-wise, it's not work. You see, when you're in your heart, it's not work, right? So remember this, right? Nothing is for free. So when they give you that stimulus check, or whoever it is that gets it or whatever, right? Remember that, because there's always some form of energy exchange, and you might not like the one that's coming. All right? So thank you, everybody. Many blessings and all great things, and we'll see you next Sunday night. And we love you. All right? Talk soon. All right. Thank you, and thank you, guys. You got it, Ray?